Ciao a tutti da Darkside Cinema. Tra i film più discussi del momento c'è sicuramente Dallas Buyers Club, soprattutto in virtù delle numerose candidature che ha ricevuto per i prossimi Oscar. Ma chi avrebbe mai detto che avremmo avuto ospite qui a Roma proprio il suo protagonista, Matthew McConaughey, tra l'altro nominato come miglior attore protagonista. E soprattutto abbiamo avuto l'opportunità di scambiare due chiacchiere con lui. E vi raccontiamo cosa è successo. A dopo!
Yeah. Oh, are you getting a workout?
I can see. No, I cannot sing and dance. I'll try.
Okay, we'll do our best.
Yeah.
Get our radio voice on.
Absolutely.
Buongiorno.
So you seem very keen on and you are very good in interpreting bad guys or a kind of. So I would like to know something about your relation within the most iconic villains in the history of cinema, if you get some inspiration from them or if you feel fascinated from these figures.
Do I feel fascinated from
By
historical icons?
villains.
Villains?
Yeah, villains.
Ah, movie villains. None in particular. I will say this, my favorite villains, it sure seems to me that the performance, the villain never really thinks they're a villain. If you take Killer Joe, for instance, for me, he was about order. Get rid of chaos, create order. So that was a positive, affirmative move. He moved always out of affirmation. He was never trying to demolish things. He was trying to clean things up. Now, the way he did it was very violent, but he was about order. That was an affirmative, offensive move. He was never receding, you know. So everyone has different brands of justice, so to speak, you know, or what they deem as justice. So, no, I guess the one thing is I've noticed that my favorite villains don't play themselves as villains. There's a small scene in one of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossibles, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's one of the bad guys, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't remember the line exactly, but the Tom Cruise character saying, like, you know, why are you gonna do this bad thing? And the way Seymour Hoffman played it, he's like, no, but I mean, he played like, I'm gonna have to. I won't be able to help myself, which was not an attitude. It was not like, if you don't, I will. It wasn't a threat. It was like, this guy couldn't help himself for being bad. So that's much scarier. If someone's like, it's not a choice I'm making, it's just me.
Friedkin, Soderbergh, adesso Dallas Buyers Club, mi piace sempre di più fare il bastardo, l'antipatico.
You like to play
Magari alla fine è buono,
bastard, the nasty guy, more and more. Maybe at the end you're a good guy, but...
Well, what I've been able to, look, they've all been characters that were outcasts. They were characters that lived on the fringes of society. They were, you could say they were all anti-heroes, as a generalization. And what's good about an anti-hero is an anti-hero makes up his own rules. He doesn't abide or placate to anyone else's rules. So they have a very clear identity. And I've been able to find clear obsessions with each character. You know, so if I can find that, that's very freeing for me as an actor. I never looked at them as bastards. You know, or I never looked at them as bad guys. But yeah, they were not your regular heroes. That's for sure.
Quando lei ha cominciato a pensare a questo personaggio di Ron Woodroof, da dove ha cominciato a cercare di impersonarlo? Cosa ha preso? Qual è stata la prima cosa che, guardandosi allo specchio, ha pensato che potesse essere Ron stavolta?
Well, the first thing I did was humble myself to the source material, which is the original writer Craig Wharton had like 20 hours transcripts of interviews with Ron Woodroof. Then I went to see his family. They shared his diary with me. I've said this before, that was my secret weapon, because that gave me Ron Woodroof's monologue, so then I could go have the dialogue as an actor. it became clear to me early on that this was not a story of a man dying. It was a story about a man living, fighting to live. And as I said earlier, really trying to find variation with the emotion of rage, which is what really kept this guy alive. So as soon as I understood what he did for himself, for self-preservation, then I felt more confident in staying consistent with that man throughout, and trust that the humanity will come out of the son of a bitch. Trust that the crusader will come out of the businessman. And that was a very original part of this character. You know, he doesn't change. He doesn't have a big coming to life change and go, oh, woe be my wicked ways of the past. He gets more compassionate and understanding, but he doesn't have that third act moment of going, oh my God, who was I? What have I become? And that's more like real life, I think. You know, so through his self-preservation is where he became the crusader. You know.
Con la sua carriera in qualche modo ha dimostrato
With your career, you have somehow,
lei come attore ha dettato le regole ad Hollywood su come dovevano in qualche maniera considerarla.
Somehow hire you or see you or consider you.
I didn't try to impose any rules. I just put my head down and went to work and became less concerned with how I was perceived, became less concerned with anybody's rules at all, besides my own. Much more selfish.
C'è qualcosa
Is there something in the Woodruff journey
lui lo ricercava,
while
lo
you were
studiava,
researching and studying
pensare,
it, which made you think,
questa cosa non sarei mai riuscita a
this is
farla o non
something
l'avrei mai fatto?
I would have never done this, I would never do this. Something that he did in his journey.
Something that he did? Is there something he did that I in my own life say I would never do this?
Yeah.
I'll never be able to do it. Something brave or...
No, because I wasn't. This is look, the ultimate opposition is, you know, death. So I in no way can personally say what I would or wouldn't do, or what anyone would or wouldn't do fighting for their own life. All the rules are thrown out then. You know, talk about self-preservation. You really see how far someone will go. You know, the ironic thing about Ron Woodruff is he found identity and structure in his life for the first time because he had HIV. That's when he found real purpose in his life. So I'm not going to put a ceiling on. I don't know what my ceiling would be.
Proprio il suo protagonista, cioè Matthew McConaughey. Questo farà la fine di Liam Hemsworth. Matthew McConaughey.